Want to know more about the Kinetic Field stage design? I'll share with you what I learned and my review on the stages. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joe Salamanca. I'm the Rave Tour Guide, and today we're talking about the Kinetic Field stage design. Kinetic Field is the main stage of the Electric Daisy Carnival, also known as EDC. This stage design is meant and designed to be toured through different locations so that people all over the world can celebrate and enjoy this awesome stage that has been put together. In this video, we're gonna dive through some of these awesome details together. Let's do this. Now, Kinetic Field is easily one of my favorite stages. Now, I know that might be an unpopular opinion, but coming from the festival goer and someone who really does appreciate stage design, production, operations, management, on all that goes into putting this event together, but it is easily my favorite stage. The production level is unmatched. So let's first talk about 2021 Kinetic Field. Now, the theme of 2021 was Kinetic Zen. And as you can see at this 3D rendering, an absolutely beautiful stage design. Like seriously, it's just getting better and better. So you have, of course, the signature owl right there in the center, and off to the sides are these two figures that I want to bring attention to in a little bit. But in this stage design, it's like you're in nature. You can see in this 3D rendering. And if you guys haven't found out about the company that is responsible for putting on these stages, definitely check them out. It's called the Leisure Expert Group. They're based in Amsterdam. Seriously, once I found this, I got even more obsessed with the festival than when I was originally. Just a little bit with the company. I think the first time they started with the company with EDC might have been 2014. That was the year they did the Cathedral. And I'll get into one of those in another video. But for now, let's stick here. Kinetic Zen, right? And so this stage design is very Zen. It's like you're in nature, you're finding your peace. And the theme, that Pasquale had alluded to in the ticket box was this idea of achieving balance, prioritizing our mental health by doing the things that we feel that are called to find that balance. So, as you can see in this 3D rendering, it's kind of like nature. Like you see the leaves at the very top, you see the clouds, you see it looks like a meadow, or like you're in a swamp. Like it's dope, And this 3D rendering is so beautiful, and it doesn't even do the stage justice. But of course, once you see the whole stage, it's even more majestic, right? The colors on this stage are so vibrant. They're so sharp. When you are standing from the backstage, like you really get the best view. For views and for appreciation of the sheer size of these stages, you gotta stand from the back for this. But
peace around you, peace within. When the world is at its darkest, inside yourself, there is always light.
let's get back to this Kinetic Zen figure that I wanted to show you guys, because this is the storyline that exists between 2021 to 2022. So if you guys have been going to EDC for a while and been following the stage designs, you'll know that there's a storyline that connects them. Like each one of them is kind of connected and interwoven. Maybe not like, 10 years apart, but each year kind of has like an interconnection. So I want to bring that connection to you if you maybe haven't seen it before, and what I see here is absolutely beautiful, and I want to share this Easter egg with you guys and talk about my perspective, what I thought it meant and what it means to me. These guardians, I'll call them, are in their Zen mode. They're in their Zen seated position. Their legs are crossed, their hands are in an open receiving state, and their eyes are closed, and they're just there. And this is a representation of us and finding that balance within, throughout all the chaos that we have in life, because we're all going through shit, right? We're all going through things, and we all want to find that balance in our life, and we can do that through doing the things that we love to do, whether it's going to the festival, whether it's going to Las Vegas, whether it's traveling with your friends, whatever it is that's your balance. Like, this is what this theme was all about. We seek balance by coming to this festival and participating in these activities and being with each other and finding that balance. So these guardians were here to demonstrate and show us and represent that balance within. Let's continue. Yeah, so 2022, the theme was Kinetic Bloom. For this theme, Pasquale talked about us finding that balance. Like, once we have found that balance in our life and we find the right combination of activities, of life ingredients, what have you, that we then can nurture and then bloom into something. To bloom into something like a flower, something beautiful, to grow into that next stage. He talked about the special seed, coming from the electric daisy, planted many years ago. I think he's alluding to the festival itself that has started over 25 years ago and now blossomed into what it is today, right? The daisy is a perfect metaphor for what the festival is. It started as something small and grew into something absolutely stunning. We walk into this festival at the grandstands and we're just like, wow, how do we find that within ourselves, right? That's the bloom that we're seeking. It's like, how do we find that part, that stunning aspect about ourselves? And how do we make it come out? How do we bloom it? How do we nurture the seed so that we grow into something beautiful? That's what Kinetic Bloom is about, right? Maybe you were coming to this festival having freshly graduated. You just put in many years into your education, your schooling, countless hours of studying, and now you're preparing to bloom into something new, something special. Or maybe you've recently decided to leave your job because you sought balance in your life. You sought balance in what you wanted, and you pursued what you wanted, and you decided to celebrate it at this festival and be with your friends and celebrate all the work you've had, all the work you've accomplished, and what you're going to bloom into now that you've left your job because you decided to put yourself first. That's what Kinetic Bloom is to me, is people blooming in and blossoming into their highest, truest, best selves. I wanted to bring us back to those guardians. In 2021, for Kinetic Zen, you see that there are these two Zen figures up front at the stage. So at Kinetic Field, there's the arch, and then there's two guardians. These were really tall birds that look really like kind of Egyptian in a way. They look like they were protectors. They were protectors of our well-being. They were protectors of our mental health. So, man, those guardians, the Zen Guardians, have made a reappearance. They've replaced the protectors from 2021. And as you can see, these Zen Guardians are now at the entrance of Kinetic Field. They're literally the same exact figures. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these are the same exact figures. I'll show you here, like in 2021, and here they are in 2022. And the only difference is that the hands are just slightly lowered. Here's a little fun fact that on one of the days, the Guardian was deflated. And I looked over, and I was not on hallucinogens at all, but I looked over and I was like, am I on hallucinogens? Am I tripping? Because she looks deflated. Or she looks like she's melting. And when we all looked over, me and my group, my wife and I, we looked over and like, yeah, she's deflated. So it was basically a meme. We were all laughing. We couldn't stop laughing because it was hilarious. I'd love to point out like this story and kind of bring this whole video full circle to the movement of this story. The Kinetic Zen Guardians moving towards the front of the stage in 2022. Now, those Zen Guardians want you to protect your well-being so that you can bloom and blossom into your highest self, right? And I love these stages and I love these stage designs. And my review is that 5 out of 5 stars. I'll be honest, I didn't spend a lot of time at Kinetic Field, but the time I did, all I could do was appreciate the stage design. I was up there for Porter Robinson at the very front, and honestly, I did not think it was as pretty as when I took a step back. I remember looking at some of these flowers right up front and I was like, wow, those are pretty cool LEDs. Like, they're really bright. But only when you take a step back and you go to the very back of the stage can you see that those small LEDs that I was like, those are cool, were bringing so much vibrancy to the stage. Those small tiny flowers throughout the main stage in EDC 2022 were absolutely bright AF when you were back of the stage. But when you're in front, you're just like, they're cool, but oh my gosh. Just to bring this to a conclusion, I really want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be diving more into the stage designs. I've been going since 2012 and I love going to this festival. I love the stage design. I love the specifications and learning all about that stuff. I love nerding out over it. I love the operations. I'm a big foodie. I'm also a big restaurant manager, operator. So I love the operations, the vendor operations, the banquet service. Like, it's crazy. It's a massive undertaking. And if you want to hear more about that from a different perspective, I'd love to share that with you. And just know that this is your year to bloom. Whenever you're listening to this, just know that you too are like a seed that will grow and blossom into something beautiful, just like the electric daisy. I'm Joe Salamanca. I'm your rave tour guide. I'll see you guys on the next one.